when we are teaching robotics, then we have to cover a lot of topics related to mechanical, electrical, computer science, and those who are working in the field of robotics, that they should actually know how, from where the robotics have started and from where the robotics have come, and what will be the development in the field of robotics in the next 20-30 years. So starting from very basics of this course, that is the origin of automation. Basically, robotics is the part of automation. So what is automation? These terms which we use very, very commonly. So when we say automation, that is, automation is, if somebody asks you saying automation, home automation, industrial automation, then what is automation? For the definition of automation, basically is replacing human muscle power. Okay. So robotics is a part of automation, and automation is the process of replacing human muscular power. So we can have office automation, we can have home automation, industrial automation. Today we have visited this automation process in Amazon. So the objective is essentially the replacement of human muscular power. And this business of automation is being going on from thousands of years, and it is not that anybody invented automation or okay, and this is actually the process that started off long ago, from 10,000 BC. In the early days, human beings actually used different types of tools, and we had stone tools, then we started iron, and then we have copper. So tools make better tools. In terms of the future, we can say that next machine tools make better machine tools. Initially we had NC machines, then we have CNC machines, then now we have DNC machines, in that order. Now, how to make better tools is a philosophical statement, but actually tools make better tools, and this is how human civilization is progressing, by as tools make better tools. So it is very long ago, 10,000 BC. So removing a bit of design of simple automation, or that in 150 BC, and the design of simple automation like moving engine or Heron's doors, etc. These Greeks people were actually using this. So I'll just show you. So this is a simple steam engine. So basically we have learned that the steam engine is developed by James Watt, but actually this has been there for a long time. So you can see that there is a bucket of water, and they are heating it up, so steam is generated, and the steam is coming out with these two pipes, and these pipes are in the opposite direction. So when the steam is coming out with pressure in the opposite direction, so this setup is basically rotating. So this is how the steam engine was used to work in the initial days, and it was then claimed by James Watt when he used the steam engine in locomotives, and then it was published basically. Another example is this Heron's doors. This is also an automatic example of automation, and you can see that there's they burn the fire here, and this pressure is increased in this chamber. So the increased pressure pushes this water in the bucket through this pipe, and this water is filled into this bucket, and this bucket comes down, and this is connected with the pulley. So this pulley is rotated. So this pulley will be rotated, and again with the rotation of this wheel, this upper wheel will be rotated, and the door will open. So this is again and when they want to close the door, they'll just put off the fire, and the pressure will reduce, and the water will flow in the opposite direction, and likewise the door will close. So these are the initial examples of automation that were used by Greeks in 10,000 BC, 150 BC. But we do think that Greeks were only using all those things, but as Indians, we also had many automation devices that we were using, but actually we don't have any proof, so we can't claim that. So next, in moving ahead in 1780 AD, now we have moved to AD, and the creation of automatic dolls which could write and draw pictures. So these were simple mechanisms which were used to write something and draw pictures, and these are still the part of some robotics museum all around the world. The next, in 1801, came the use of punch cards, and this gentleman known as Joseph Maria Jacquard, basically he built up a power loom in France to manufacture the textiles by using punch cards. So this was the basically the machine, so you which he built to design the textile, and this is the first programmed power loom for design and manufacture of the textile clothes. Even today we have such devices when the weaver weaves, and you should have seen this structure like this, and these are the threads. You can see these threads which are coming down, and the weaver actually make the design. So by changing the position of these threads, there is a handle which he holds, and he moves the handles to in different directions, and that's how he is controlling the direction of the threads which are moving down, and the threads basically move here and there, and then thus the design is created. So basically you can see here at the top, these are the punch card tapes. So punch cards are very similar to the OMR sheets that we use today. So punch cards initially, basically they had some there were some lines, and each lines will have some circles, and those circles basically will have in one of the line they will have hole, and in another line they will have no hole, and there will be a reader which will be reading this hole and no hole part. So hole part will be 0 and no hole part will be 1. So this is how the data was read and understood by the reader. In those days also it was numerically dealt by 0 and 1, and today also we are dealing with numericals like 0 and 1. So it was punch card was very similar to the OMR sheet that we are using today. Next, as we move further, we have this in 1904. We have this idea of transfer lines. So you might have seen this automobile industries. There are these assembly lines in which the automobile is coming one by one, and by various humans or robots are performing some tasks on it, and the car moves on. So these are the hard automation. So basically we were dealing with hard automation. Hard automation means these are the fixed sequence of instructions that are run or that are executed to do some particular task automatically. So in 1904, Henry Ford used to use this mass production of vehicles in USA, and even today we use this concept of transfer line. So there is a conveyor, there is a car which sits on the conveyor, and it moves from station to station, and every station a human being or robot will do something and the car will move on. So now, historically speaking, where did the robot came from and the word robotics came from? So the word robotics first came out or was first used by this gentleman Karl Čapek when he wrote a play in 1921, where he said that in future there will be a mechanical man replacing a human being to do dirty jobs. He called them basically a mechanical man or a slave man. Okay, so in 1921 the word robot was first used, and of course there are no robots. There were no robots in 1921. Further, in 1942, Isaac Asimov first used the word robotics. So he's the person who said that in future there will be a subject robotics, and he also wrote science fiction for the next 200 and 300 years. He also made some movies. I suppose you might have seen some of his movies. One of his iRobot and so on. What is likely to happen, and it is very interesting that lot of things that were being written by him, or that were a lot of things he said are coming true. That is the interesting part. And that in 1942 there were no robots, but he could imagine that in future there will be going to be things like this, and there will be a subject called robotics, and you will be studying robotics like you are studying here. And the interesting part is that he said many things that are coming true, like social robots, which is happening today, and lot of things he said are scary. Scary because he said that in 2000 years ago, he said that the robot will take over a lot of things. Next, there was another man who passed away recently called Stephen Hawking. About 20 years before, he said, what is the biggest danger to mankind? Initially, 20 years back, he said that aliens were the danger to the mankind, because actually at that time they were trying to contact with aliens. And why he said this is essentially because if you make contact with them, you don't know what is going to happen. So he said this 20 years ago, which is a very famous saying that if you contact aliens, you will be very happy actually, but then they might come for lunch, and you may be their lunch. Okay. So
Yes.
it is quite possible that it will be very dangerous. So that was 20 years ago. But just before he died, about 2 years before he died, he revised this statement and said something which is more dangerous to mankind. So he said that artificial intelligence will be the most dangerous, because the way it is progressing, the one program may generate more programs. Okay, and the person who created the program actually does not understand what it was made for or what is happening. Latest programs that are being developed automatically by the system. So if it continues like that, then probably there are danger of something going wrong, and that's interesting, because Isaac Asimov also said exactly the same thing, but he said it 200 years ago. And not only AI, but robot will also take over at some point of time. So this is about Isaac Asimov. He wrote a lot of literature, also a lot of books. He made a lot of movies. This is the picture from one of his movie and play of Karl Chapak, and this was the slave man, which was initially called robot.